Secret Department of Education operation exposed in undercover video. They're hiding this from DOGE and Congress. Project Veritas released an undercover video of Travis Combs, branch chief for Applied Innovation and Improvement at the US Department of Education, describing how the agency is hiding secrets from Congress and DOGE by communicating on an encrypted app, Signal. Now, this video is 7 minutes long, but we're going to play you some of it. We encourage everyone to watch it in full. Take a listen.
If they actually knew, Congress actually knew that we don't have that, there would be a lot of trouble.
Why? Because
we would be like in a position of like being a sanctuary. You know, they have like sanctuary cities. We would be like a sanctuary program where we're spending federal dollars on illegal immigrants. Like they shut off everyone's access to everything. They're like in the building looking through everything. I'm telling you, it is insanity.
It sounds like a bad movie.
Yeah. It's like Democracy Falling should be like the title of the movie. I mean, if you want to have a conversation with somebody, you do have to take it offline. But you're not supposed to. So.
I mean, you have to now.
Yeah. So everybody uses it's an app called Signal now.
And you're all on like video chat or like.
Yeah, so it's just like a text messaging app, basically, like a WhatsApp, but it's encrypted end to end.
Nice. So you can do business stuff on there.
We're not supposed to, but yeah.
So essentially what he's admitting is that the Department of Education is operating as a rogue sanctuary program for illegal immigrants, misusing federal tax dollars in a way that would enrage Congress if the truth came out, and that employees are also evading oversight and hiding secrets on encrypted messaging apps. We encourage you to watch the full video. It's really fascinating to see this uproar of the establishment over digging into their departments. Essentially, if you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to be concerned about. And this is different from private citizens who are afforded, or at least should be afforded, complete privacy because we're the ones paying them to utilize our tax dollars appropriately. How is misuse of federal funds and operating in secret despite the administration's orders anything but a crime? Whether you ideologically agree with the administration or not, you, as an employee of the taxpayer, are expected to comply with the administration. If not, you resign and go get a job in the private sector where you'll be accountable based on your merits. And for most of you, it won't be much at all because you're career politicians and unelected bureaucrats who've never had a real job or worked a day in the private sector in the real world where you're actually required to perform. At the end of the day, like it or not, this is what the people voted for. This is what they will get. Did you know that over 85% of the grass-fed beef in stores is imported? That's because the country of origin labeling law was repealed in 2015. So now meat can be packaged here in the US and earn a product of USA label, even if it was born, raised, and harvested overseas. And the truth is, much of the meat on the grocery store shelves is filled with things you don't want, from antibiotics, hormones, questionable origins, and even harmful seed oils. But at Good Ranchers, transparency isn't just a buzzword, it is a promise. All products at Good Ranchers have trustworthy ingredients. Their meat is born, raised, and harvested right here in the USA, so you know exactly where it comes from. It's free from hidden additives. There are no antibiotics ever, no added hormones, and no seed oils. Just one simple ingredient that you can read, and that's meat. Jermaine Gill, the Chief Growth Officer of Good Ranchers, explains what you need to know about the current state of the meat market. He joins us now. Jermaine, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate you being here.
Yeah, thank you, Maria. Anytime we get a chance to, talk about Good Ranchers and talk about agriculture here at Good Ranchers, we always want to take that opportunity. So thank you. And thank you for being an advocate for the local farms and ranches here in the U.S. I know it's important to you. It's an important subject to us. So thank you.
It's absolutely important to me. This is preserving our food supply, and the integrity of our food supply is paramount. And I don't think people really realize that until the food supply actually is at risk. And it is at risk all over the world. There is an attack specifically on farmers. There's an attack on meat, on protein. And so we want to talk about the integrity as well of the meat that people are getting when they go to Good Ranchers. This is so important. So talk to us about the fact that when people go to the supermarket, they don't actually know for sure that their meat is coming from America.
Yeah, in 2015, the U.S. government passed a country of origin labeling law that says that it's called the Coal Law. So it says that beef and pork in the U.S. doesn't have to actually be born and raised, harvested here to be called a product of the USA. So you can see that a stamp on some ground beef and it'll have the American flag and it says product USA. All it has to do is be further processed here in the country. So that means that it can be born, raised, harvested in another country, Mexico, Uruguay, Latin America, South America. Those are the big places that we see a lot. Canada too. We see a lot of beef imported in from those other countries. And then it's either, processed, meaning like cut into steaks, or ground up here in the US, and it now becomes called the product of the USA. Yeah, so I mean, it's very misleading, right? Because honestly, the US is the best grower of beef, chicken, pork in the world, right? We do the best job. We set all of the standards for animal husbandry, animal right, how we treat the animal, all of these things. The U.S. agriculture is when it sets the standard for those things, and so we pride ourselves on being the best growers. And it's kind of sad to see that because of this law, there's almost 3 billion pounds of beef have been imported into the U.S.
Wow.
over like last 2024. And so the regular American consumer doesn't even know, right? They trust that little American flag, that product USA labeling, and then they end up buying it. They don't realize, that they can't tell where the meat has come from. That's why at Good Ranch, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, no, I just wanted to say this is so, so important. People need to realize how vital this is, because we recently have an example out of the UK, Jermaine, where there was a huge backlash over Bovea 10. Now, for people that aren't aware of that, can be a very, very dangerous additive. And the initial studies show that it can cause things like infertility and maybe even cancer. And so there was a backlash in the UK over this being inside dairy products. And so what they started to do was hide the manufacturer from other products, so that people wouldn't be aware that they were purchasing something that had Bovea in it. And you guarantee there's no Bovea in the meat, right?
Yeah, no, Bovea. Yeah, we've worked really hard, and so our founder has been in Corley Spell. When they started the company, they started out of the need and desire to know where their meat was coming from, right? They had started a family, and they started to do some more research and digging into like what the meat industry looked like in the US. And so out of the desire for a clean product, vaccine-free products that they know that they could trust and that they could feed their family, that's where Good Ranchers came from. And so the heart and soul of who we are it's two parts, right? It's one, we always want to support the American farm and rancher. I mean, I know, I don't know if you know this, but ranches and farms, the small local, are closing left and right because of imported beef and this, big farm, big beef industry, big meat industry. So one, we want to support those guys. That's part of our mission. It's part of our heart. We want to, bring advocacy to them. We want to tell their stories. We want to be able to support them, right? And so we've done that over the last 7 years of being in business. We've really done that. The other piece to the heart and soul of who we are is the idea of a clean product that you can trust. And 100 years ago, it's funny, I was just telling this story to somebody earlier today. About 100 years ago, if you were, here in the US, you wanted to get, chicken or beef, you would just, go down the street to your local ranch and farm. You would meet the rancher and farm, right? You would set up you would buy directly from them, or from like a small butcher shop that had that connection. Well, as cities have grown, we've lost that connection, right? We're no longer connected to our food supply, right? We don't know where it's coming from. We don't know what it is. And a lot of us don't have time to really go and do the research. That's why, trusting a company like Good Ranchers, we go out there, we do the research for you. We make sure it's a clean product. We make sure it's a product that we would feed ourselves. Been in Corley, myself, we do the same thing. We would never sell anything that we wouldn't feed to our own family. And so, you don't have the time to go find those ranchers and those farmers and let us go do the sourcing for you. That is who we are, right? So let us do the sourcing. Let's make sure the product's clean, the cleanest it can be, so that you can know and have trust that what you're feeding your family it's supporting local farms and ranchers in the US, and it's a clean product.
Well, this is what you do at Good Ranchers is so important, Jermaine, because we have to keep those local farmers and those local ranchers alive. Like I said, there is a sort of coordinated global attack on them. And whilst that may be different under the new administration, we have to keep their business going. We have to, we hope to see changes and we hope to see farmers supported, but we have to keep that momentum going because you just look at how over the years not supporting local farms and just buying from supermarkets where you can't be certain of where your meat is from and it's all sort of big business, big ag, rather than the grassroots people that actually care about the quality of the meat. Over the years, that's allowed many of them to be attacked, to be overregulated, with, if you don't upgrade to this smart ag, which costs millions of dollars, you're going to be shut down. We really have to put in effort to advocate for these businesses because this is our food. This is our strength. This is what keeps our families healthy. And let me just say, Jermaine, I'm going to tell you, I'm from Australia originally. I'm in America now, but when I was there, we have incredible meat in Australia, and I partnered as well with a company that does similar things to what Good Ranchers does in Australia, and their meat was fantastic. And I came to the US and I just couldn't find tasty meat anywhere. And then I tried Good Ranchers and it is good. It is very, very delicious. I will tell you that openly. And so I think it's a fantastic option for people. What are some other really important points for you?
Yeah, I mean, for us, tariffs is a big thing that everybody are talking about right now, right? And so, one of the things that we drew a line in the sand very early on in the company was that not only was our meat going to be born, raised, and harvested in the U.S., but our whole supply chain was going to be 100% U.S. based. So that's why when you're going to see rising cost of meat products in the grocery store, the butcher shop, other online meat companies that are importing products in from overseas, you're not going to see that same rise in cost with us because we've already secured our whole supply chain to be 100% American. So, as you start to get that like pricing sensitivity, right? People are going to start, and we see it now, right? We talk about it. It's all over the news, right? Price of eggs are increasing. Price of ground beef is increasing. Everything. You're going to see it. We see it all over the place now. When you buy from Good Ranchers, you can be secure that your price is going to stay the same for while you're with us, as well as, we always want to give back. We always want to give value back to our customers. So like one of the things that we're running right now is like free meat for a year, right? So, free, you get to choose ground beef, chicken, salmon, whatever product you want. And we're going to give you a portion of that for free for a year. So, not like I said, we're trying to give back to not just local farms and ranches, but to the American family, right? Part of our goal is to bring people to the table. And so we know that, there is some fear or, hesitancy there with pricing and concern that the price of beef and price of meat is going to continue to rise. Good Ranchers, we're here to help, right? And so we've kind of got ahead of the whole tariff thing, right? And there's this, movement to bring back American meat, right? To buy American. And so that's what we've been doing since we started, right? And so we're happy to be a part of the solution, right? And a part of the answer.
Well, I'm really grateful for that. I applaud your mission. I really do. We have to support local farms, local ranchers. This is one of the most important things that we have to do because our food supply is at the core of our health. Like it's that simple.
Yeah.
So, and I really
I will say one,
go on.
yeah, I'll say one thing. You don't have to sacrifice quality and taste for clean and shopping your values, right? Like our product, like you said it earlier, I mean, we've had beef from all over now, the best, and I will hands down put a Good Ranchers product up against any other thing. We not only are we like trying to source the cleanest thing, but we age all of our beef, a minimum of 28 days. Our chicken is all small, but we have an internal saying. It's kind of funny. People come for the steak, but they stay for the chicken because our chicken is just so phenomenal.
Chicken is good.
You think like all chicken is right. It's all made the same, but our chicken just, you can taste the difference. It's more tender. It's got a little bit of a different flavor profile to it. It's not those gigantic pterodactyl sized chicken breasts you're going to see at the grocery store that's pumped full of hormones. It's a smaller chicken breast. So like, it's phenomenal. I would just say our product, you don't have to sacrifice quality or taste.
Well, what I really,
and do right.
Absolutely. And what I really love as well is that it comes in portions. So when you're buying meat from the supermarket, you might get a whole bunch of unwanted parts that you're paying for but throwing out, where Good Ranchers gets all those portions for you, so you're actually getting what you pay for, and then it's easier for meal prep as well. So there's just so many benefits, Jermaine. I again love the meat. I'm going to be regularly buying it. I recently tried it. I love it. Tastes great. You can taste the quality of the meat, and just knowing as well that we're supporting local farmers and ranchers is number one. This needs to become, really the motto of America going forward, the motto of every country, really. You have to support your farmers and your ranchers. You have to. It's paramount to our existence. And the added benefit of the value add that you're giving to your customers as well, because you're not just giving back to the businesses, but also to your customers, is just wonderful. So thank you so much for your time today, Jermaine. I really appreciate it. This is how you can be sure of the safety and the quality of your meat, by purchasing from Good Ranchers direct. Thank you so much, Jermaine.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. And again, like I said, Maria, thank you for your support. Thank you for highlighting the needs of ranchers, farmers out there. And, we cannot stress this enough, like securing a great your food supply, understanding where your meat come from, and finding a trusted provider is so important. It's like we're feeding our future, really, honestly, right? Because what we put in our bodies is important. So thank you for trusting Good Ranchers. Appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Thanks. You have a great day.
Huge thanks to Jermaine Gill and Good Ranchers for sponsoring the show and offering a truly clean, transparent meat service that supports our values and the good of humanity. And speaking of clean food, I have exciting news. Good Ranchers seed oil-free chicken nuggets are back. Made with whole cuts of chicken, they're gluten-free, allergen-safe, and packed with delicious, clean flavor. You can subscribe to a box or add them to any order at goodranchers.com/VNN. But here's the best part. Good Ranchers delivers straight to your door, skipping the grocery store and offering farm-to-table transparency. Right now, when you subscribe to any box at Good Ranchers, you'll get free ground beef, chicken breasts, or wild-caught salmon for a full year, plus $25 off when you use the code VNN at checkout. Don't miss out on the pleasure of eating top-quality meat. Go to goodranchers.com/VNN and use code VNN to get free meat for a year and $25 off your order. We love their services, and we think you will too.